The Mars City sublevel was one of the first multi-purpose installations built on Mars, housing storage, environmental systems, localized energy productions, communication arrays, and rudimentary research systems. The aging facility is vital to keeping Mars City operational. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Doom 3, and we are in the Mars City sublevel.
Welcome to the dungeon, Marine. Most unexciting place on Mars. I'm gonna need you to grab some armor and secure your pistol before I can pass you through security.
Ooh, weapons! Give me the weapons!
Grab your
Give me the
gear.
weapons! Oh, well, at least we do get a pistol.
Now you're ready for combat. Let me do a radio test.
So, I'm just gonna let this guy finish his dialogue here.
Mars Sec radio check. Excellent. Good signal. Looks like you've been assigned the decommissioned comm facility. Just follow the main passage through the underground junction, then straight out. You'll have a quick evac. And what better way to see the Martian surface than to run across it? Okay, you're all set. Oh yeah, keep in mind, civilians are working down here. Don't get excited and shoot any.
And with that out of the way, we have our radio established, which is mounted to our armor. We got our gun, our first pistol, and the pistol in this game is actually a pretty half-decent pistol in my opinion.
Hey, don't touch that.
Excuse me, I just need to touch that for 1 minute, because it involves a secret. And that secret is over here. We also picked up a flashlight, and I'll discuss how the flashlight functions, besides the fact that you just hold it out and you shine a light, but there are reasons why people do not like this game, and it is the fact that you cannot wield a flashlight and a weapon at the same time, and that makes people angry. This is an armor shard. Obviously, the armor vest we picked up gave us 50 armor, and those give us 5. And here's a ladder. Now, the way ladders work is that it's not like Half-Life 1 where if you just suddenly walk into a ladder, you're suddenly glued to it. No, like, if you turn around and face another direction, you actually drop off. But as long as you're facing any direction that looks like you're actually climbing a ladder, then you'll climb up it with ease. And to mount a ladder, like so, you just need to go backwards, and you should automatically attach to it. So it's not too difficult, but can be a little bit perilous. Explosive barrels! They deal tons of damage to you, so do not stand next to them, but on the other hand, they also deal tons of damage to the enemy. What is the enemy? Well, we haven't encountered anyone just yet, apart from the NPCs. And I could shoot that guy if I wanted to be mean, but I'm not going to. Now, here's where I'm going to make a quick save. Because traversing this tightrope is not the difficult part. It's actually getting on the tightrope that's, like, the most difficult task ever created by the developers, because if you land on it, it, like, pushes you around. Like, I'm just gonna try jumping on it. You see, I just jerked over to the right. I didn't do that. That's the game directly pushing you off, which makes that sort of one of the more difficult secrets to acquire for pretty much the wrong reasons, just because the physics are incredibly wonky.
Hey! You're looking for the scientist, right?
I'm not sure you want to find him. You see, never mind.
Okay, that was an interesting scene. I will, however, go pick up some of those armor shards. Think about this game, is that in terms of not just armor, but also ammunition, those are two things that you will probably never run out of in any instance. Especially in this difficulty, because a lot of enemies in this game actually deal more damage to you with melee attacks, which don't really damage your armor, just more of your health. And yeah, we're basically going to have infinite armor throughout this entire thing. But here's another PDA where we can read Grant Bastion's email, and it will tell us that there is a large updated security code in all capital letters email. And the code is 531 for this particular storage cabinet. This is one of 2 storage cabinets that you can see in this level, and the stipulation for opening the other one is actually drastically different, but bear in mind, again, a lot of storage cabinets can be opened by either reading somebody else's mail or listening to an audio log. So we're just going to drop down right here, pick up a couple more secret armor shards, just so that way we can be full, and yeah, let's get a move on. Hello!
Do you make a habit of sneaking up on people? Everyone's already on edge down here with all the strange things that have been going on.
I am the Sneak Master of Sneaks, and I'm going to demonstrate some of that sneaking by sneaking back here and picking up one final armor shard. You can max out your armor to 125. Your health only goes up to 100, so just be mindful of that. And this is the point of contention people have when it comes to playing Doom 3. The lights go out sometimes, and that means you gotta pull out your flashlight and shine a light on the current situation. Illuminate the possibilities of where you could go. People don't like this mechanic because you can't wield a weapon at the same time, and that makes it super scary. I personally don't mind it. I think it kind of adds to the charm of the game, but that's just me. Anyway, secret shotgun shells. There are various different ammunition packs that you can collect. Some ammunition types, like if you pick up a gun, then you generally only get a small amount of ammo. Then there's basic ammunition packs like that, which, for example, that gave me 8 shells, and there are shell boxes which give you 12 shells. And it sort of goes on like that for certain types of weapons as well, but we'll demonstrate that later on.
Hey, you're that new guy headed for the old comm center, right? You better hustle up, pal. This passage doesn't go all the way there. You'll have a quick walk outside to the center's airlock. Hey, don't sweat it. Your suit's got plenty of oxygen.
Right. Now we get introduced to one of the mechanics that people might possibly have a problem with when it comes to Doom 3, but because we are living on Mars, we need to have these airlocks around here to transfer us from side to side, and we have limited oxygen. Obviously, they don't want you staying out here for too long. You can keep your oxygen meter up by collecting those little air tanks over there, so that's usually pretty handy. But you're encouraged to sort of just get a move on and try to get from place to place without too much of a hassle. And, well, it hasn't taken us very long to reach our intended destination. So, Sarge is just yelling at us through the radio. I'm gonna spoil it right now. Our radio is going to be going haywire throughout this entire level. And I'm probably just going to be talking over most of the noise just because I can do that. It's my game. It's my walkthrough. You can't tell me what to do. And, I'm gonna pause for a little bit to take a drink because we have a cutscene ahead.
Huh? No, no, please. You must let me get this communication out. They have to be warned while there is still time. I can't let... You don't know what I've seen. You can't possibly understand or comprehend. The devil is real. I know. I built his cage.
I'm getting abnormal readings here. This is bad.
Oh, God!
Can't hold these levels. We're losing.
I'm starting to think that we might have a couple of problems in this base at the moment, if all of a sudden hell is breaking loose everywhere. Quite literally. I mean, the floating demonic skulls, I wouldn't have personally invited these guys into my realm if I were them. That television screen, actually, that's a scene from, I think it was like the E3 footage of this game. Oh yeah, and then John was a zombie. Anyway, let's get down to mechanics here. Headshots against enemies deal a lot more damage. The pistol is a perfectly accurate weapon in this game. So, as long as you're just shooting at direct center of the crosshair, then you'll land a shot, and the enemies will go boom. As I said, headshots do a ton of more damage compared to just shooting at the body, so aim for those headshots, and that applies for pretty much any weapon in this game. And also, I forgot to mention, this is something I discovered accidentally during one of my escapades in this game.
Fall back to Marine HQ and await for...
What a lovely little cutscene that is. Anywho, let's get a move on. We got our pistol right here. We also do have our fists. I guess I should make mention that you can attack enemies with your bare hands. And that guy has less health because he was walking into a jet stream of fire, so he didn't take the full amount of punches that he would normally take, but it's a thing you could do. You can kill people with your fists. It's not necessarily a good idea, but it's an option if you want to conserve ammunition. Which really shouldn't be a concern because we're gonna get a ton of ammunition in this game. Anyways, the spooky lights go out. But we're gonna go ahead and pick up another secret because around the bend in this direction, if we just sneak around this cliff very carefully, around these incredibly low texture cliffs, then we can find not only an oxygen tank, but also this thing. This is an adrenaline power-up. It gives you infinite sprint for a short period of time, and it makes your heartbeat incredibly noisy. So if you come across those, be sure to pick them up if you just want to get a little bit of that extra dosage of sprint. I suppose I should make mention as well that this flashlight that we have, not only handy for illuminating dark areas, but you can also use it to attack enemies, who will punch you on sight, which is something I probably shouldn't have let me happen. To me. Yes, words. It's a thing you could do. But we should probably focus on using our pistol because it's ultimately more satisfying to kill things with a pistol in this game, in my opinion. 3 headshots takes care of an average zombie. With certain types of zombies, it usually takes a bit more. Like, we encountered a zombie with a pistol early on, and that guy took like 4 shots, I think it is by default. And that guy took a bit of extra because I think I missed one of my bullets. But let's head back the way we came. Let's not head back the way we came. Instead, let's extend this service bridge and watch a scientist run away because he's scared. And I would be scared in this situation too, but I have flaming fists of fury to destroy those fiends. And there is a fiend up ahead which I'm going to go destroy with my bare hands after this bridge lowers. He's just around the corner right over here, and I'm gonna crouch and take damage because that's just gonna happen to me. These are the basic zombie security guards, otherwise known as Z-Sex. And these guys just have pistols. They're really not all that threatening. They deal like the least amount of damage compared to most enemies in this game. There are 2 other types of zombie security guards which we should be concerned about, but we won't be encountering one of those types for a little bit of time, so just hold that thought under your head for the time being. Now here's another PDA. We haven't seen one of these in a while, but this is the PDA of Frank Dillahue, and that's actually kind of an important PDA. I'll stress on why that is in a bit, but first of all, I want to jump up there and pick up some secret items, because I see some bullets up there, and I think I'm actually going to try making this easier for myself by just pushing one of these boxes around. Here's a fine demonstration of what you can do with the physics engine in this game, so you can push boxes around to get you to higher places. And this is like one of the few places in the game where you can actually do this. Yeah, the whole reason behind why the physics engine was underutilized, I couldn't really tell you, so I could honestly only pull an explanation out of my ass for that one. There's another secret area, by the way, with some armor shards and a health kit if you need it. But there is an expansion pack with an item which basically sort of functions like a gravity gun, only worse. But that's pretty much how the physics were utilized in that game. It's unfortunately not in the original game, so I'm just gonna make a quick save right here. And move on. Kill that zombie.
I'm getting out of here.
And rescue that scientist. That actually does have a bearing on some items which you can collect, and we will see what that does briefly. First of all, I want to get rid of this guy, using my pistol. And these pistons! My friend can attest to this point, but the first time I ever played this game, I ran directly into those pistons and died a terrible death. So don't be like me. Instead, walk around the pistons and collect a shotgun. And the shotgun in this game is a bit of an interesting topic that's worth, well, a demonstration. You see, at any other range apart from hugging distance, the shotgun sucks. Like, it really sucks. Look at that ludicrous pellet spread. Obviously, you want to get up close and personal with your targets before you fire a shot into their face and make them go boom. So that's what we're going to try and focus on doing for the most part. And then Hell sent its mightiest warrior to do combat against the Marine. It is a zombie with a flashlight. And I will actually use my shotgun a bit more, but we have to be introduced to a new type of zombie security guard. This is a zombie security guard that also carries a shotgun, and these guys are dangerous. Like, very, very dangerous. They can kill you in a very short amount of time, because they happen to fire their shotguns a little bit faster compared to us. So, to try to keep your distance, or if you could just sort of lure them around the corner, then you could easily kill them with like one shot with a shotgun. The shotgun is easily the most powerful weapon in the game if you just go for those point-blank shots only, and for the most part you can get through a lot of the game just exclusively using this weapon. Not through all of it. There will be a certain point where you may run out of ammunition, but it's very plentiful. Ammunition is just one of those things that's quite common, and even though it might look like we're starting off with only a little bit, we're gonna get a lot more. I'm not going to hold back on that fact. And it looks like the fire here is blocking our path. That won't instantly kill you, you could just run right through that, but there's a more sophisticated means of actually getting through that fire barrier, and you'll see why that is momentarily. But first we're introduced to the imps, which you can kill in one shot with a shotgun. Otherwise, be careful of those guys. They fling fireballs at you. Generally, pretty dangerous enemies. I think if you get perfect headshots with the pistol, you can like kill them in 6 bullets, which is actually a pretty good attribute of the pistol, but again, getting headshots with this weapon, because it's perfectly accurate, and the way enemies lurch about, can actually be pretty damn difficult. Anyway, we have this code right here, and if I recall what the code is, there's an audio log by Frank Delahue about fire safety precautions, I think it is, but if you enter the code 842, then that actually shuts the jet stream off. Then you could safely pass through without taking any damage. We could pick up more shotgun shells. And the next secret, this level is full of secrets, by the way. The developers kind of went crazy with secrets. Click here to unlock hatch. And it's this hatch over here, which I believe Zero Follower first discovered. So thank you, Zero, for discovering that one. There's a box of shells right here. 12 shells, to be precise. We also did actually bypass a zombie who just... He's really not all that harmful. If you shine your light on enemies, then they generally actually take notice of you, but I think it more has to do with where your crosshair is positioned. But this guy... He's pretty cool. He's my friend. He doesn't really do much. He just kind of likes to observe his surroundings a little bit. You can punch him if you want to, but he'll punch back, which is usually pretty damaging. But should be like 4 punches or something, and that takes care of a zombie. Anyway, let's move on ahead. Watch this guy crawl out of the shadows, and watch out for an imp that spawns behind you. A common sight is going to be enemies spawning behind you in this game, so if you are very squeamish with enemies appearing behind you, don't play Doom 3. This storage cabinet, this is the second storage cabinet I was referring to earlier. If you rescue the scientist that was up on the ledge that we just passed by, then this cabinet will be open and you can collect the health kit inside. And I needed that because I was missing 4 health points. Hit points. I need those hit points. I'm still tempted to call it heart power because that's just... I always assumed HP meant heart power and I've just kind of stuck with that definition for the longest time. Watch out, there's an imp! Who punched me? So, aside from flinging fireballs, imps can also use their claws against you, which tend to deal a bit more damage than usual. Not only this, but they can also crouch and leap towards you, which is an incredibly scary attack. And, in fact, that's one of the ways that developers place imps around certain corridors, like this one, for instance, is that there's just a crouching imp behind it. And that, I hate that. To be honest, I'm gonna be blunt here, that's dick-level design. And they pull that trick so many times, it's just... Ugh, that's really not a good way of increasing tensions in a video game. That's just being a bad designer, in my opinion. So, get used to suddenly running backwards as soon as you open a door, because there's probably going to be an imp beside him. And also, this guy inside the vent. Get rid of that guy using your shotgun. It's a pretty handy tool overall. It kills things, especially living things, including this guy. Probably best that you get rid of him as soon as possible. Explosive barrels can be used to damage enemies, and they deal a surprising amount of damage, so try to utilize them wherever you see fit. Anyhow, just watch that crane drop its cargo hold, and just sort of shimmy around. We're gonna try and use our pistol against the next imp that walks out of that door over there. Boop. There we go. 7 shots. It would have been 6 shots if I got perfect headshots, but I think I may have missed at least one of them. But that security guard, I don't think he's doing too great now. But at least we can access the security checkpoint button and get scared by that imp. Also, once you interact with that guy wakes up, you can actually kill him, that Z-Sec, before he even wakes up. And I'd recommend you do that, otherwise you'll take a bunch of lead to the back, and it's really not the best kind of massage that I could recommend. But aside from opening the exit door, there are a couple of other things that we can interact with right here, such as the sub-level access. 2 buttons. First one is maintenance storage. Unlock that. Second one, entrance lockers. Unlock that as well, because it gives us access to a new weapon. But first of all, we have to get rid of that shotgunner who just appears out of nowhere. But, there we go. 6 bullets is pretty good. That's half of a magazine, so I can't complain. The pistol is perfectly accurate, as I said, so try to make use of that perfect accuracy. You can also zoom, and that might increase your accuracy a little bit if you really want to, but always make sure that the little dot is on the center of where the enemy's head is. And I'm gonna make a quick save again, because traversing this tightrope makes me nervous. So, this is the maintenance storage that we just unlocked, and this is one of the most well-hidden secrets in the entire game, in my opinion, because you can find a new ammunition type. Those are cells. We don't have a gun that uses cells just yet, but probably get one at some point. And once more, make a very brief quick save, and if I fall off of here, well, you'll probably see me load said quick save and try traversing this rope again, because it's a scary, bad rope of meanness. But that never had to happen to begin with, because we made it safely, and... Go quick save again. I'm gonna try to avoid quick saving often in this game. The game only has an autosave mechanic where if you enter a new level, then that's the only autosave that the game is gonna make. Otherwise, you're kind of encouraged to quick save, but I'm gonna try avoiding it, unless there are very stupidly large bottomless pits such as that one, just so that way I can avoid making any mistakes. Anyway, here's our machine gun! The machine gun! Its bullets deal less damage compared to the pistol. It's not really as accurate at a long distance, as its accuracy does drop off quite a bit actually, but overall, it's a pretty dependable weapon, and we will be getting more ammunition for it in the next level, but for now, there's a zombie in the elevator, who has a Ministry of Sleewalks degree. But that is the end of level 2, so let us exit communications transfer.